Hey guys, I just wanted to let you guys know that this was recorded 2 days after said event happened back in January. After that, I actually got sick for a month and a half and I could not get any better. So now that I'm back, you're going to be watching the recording from back then.
This one is going to be definitely a doozy. I'm not watching a video today. I'm actually going to be explaining an event bigger than the Grammys. This is China's Grammys, and how this night went from a great anticipated night for us Yishans because of Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo showing up to something that we couldn't believe that happened, and all the way to the end when we got our happy ending because of a post Wang Yibo made to show how much he truly cares about his shanga. Oh yes, disclaimer. Before I forget, this is a Yishin channel. If you don't like that, especially with the events that just recently happened, please go to another channel that actually supports the fandom that you're a part of. I actually recorded this 2 nights ago so that way I can get my husband's input since my husband is usually working. So sometimes I'm going to be cutting in and out so that way I can have my husband's insight since he wasn't able to watch Weibo night even though he wanted to watch it with me. But he had to get up for work, so I watched it and now we're here. Konnichiwa, Mina, or should I say ni hao, because today we are actually going to be gossiping these things that happened in the anticipated night that Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo agreed to be at the same event at the same time. We are talking about Weibo Night 2024. Weibo Night actually took place this year on January 11th from 1:30 p.m. to 11 o'clock p.m. That is almost 12 hours. Forget the Grammys, because in the Grammys, we don't really get a lot of drama. This time around, we have Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo involved in a lot of drama, but these boys definitely did not deserve to be treated like that in Weibo Night. How'd you feel going to this award show? And on top of that, you actually did an interview a few days ago. We're talking about Xiaoshan saying that you actually feel happy with how your life is going so far. And then Wang Yibo also did ice rock climbing, I think, a few days ago too. And then the announcement drops that Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo would be participating in Weibo Night 2024, which would take place on January 11th, 2025. Now, if you're actually in America, like I am, this event would actually happen between the hours of 12:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. What if I tell you this award show was almost like 12 hours long?
See, that's too long.
That's exactly what I did. And this person here, this Yishin right here that you're watching, actually watched the whole event play out. So I watched it all in real time, and I was also keeping tabs on everything that was going on through Twitter, because I actually don't have access to the Weibo chat, nor do I speak Mandarin. So I actually had to rely on translations of the fandom, which is actually great because now I actually know what actually happened throughout that whole night. Mind you, this event was huge. To the point, it was actually a rumor said that Weibo Night's red carpet actually was going on for a little too long, and that some of the rest of the artists that were there were rushed. So why am I talking about this? Well, as a Yishin, obviously, I'm going to be talking about this event because a lot of things happen that are basically confirmations of what candies that we've been getting as Yishins ever since from 2019 until current. And it's actually one argument that we've been having this whole time in the Yishin community that's actually been confirmed because of Wang Yibo.
What do you do?
Oh, he did something, but we'll get to it. So all of us are anticipating Wang Yibo, and so far we all know as Yishins that Wang Yibo and Xiaoshan usually come out close to the end. Usually Wang Yibo is the one that comes out first, then Xiaoshan comes close to the end. Now, if you don't know anything about Weibo Night, they do this thing when it comes to A-list celebrities like Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo. They leave them close to the end, so that way people like Yishins, Motos, and Shrimp actually stay in tune for the whole red carpet that is about 3 to 4 hours long. So that way you can see your celebrity. And usually Xiaoshan is close to the end, and then the whole red carpet ends.
It's rigged.
It is rigged. They do it for clout. That should be enough said. When it comes to Weibo Night, usually there's always some type of interaction when it comes to Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo, and we're not talking directly, it's indirectly. They're both backstage, and they don't come out for 2 hours. They don't sit in the arena, or one sits in the arena, and the other one's backstage. Now, here's the thing. Last year's Weibo Night put it over the top. When we got Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo putting their signatures next to each other. Big ordeal. It was the biggest thing that happened. I think in 2020, Wang Yibo and Xiaoshan were actually not allowed to talk to each other at this event. But when Xiaoshan was leaving, he actually had his water bottle tap Yibo's foot, and this is not confirmed that he said this, but some people believe that he actually said he's heading out to Wang Yibo, and Wang Yibo just nodded and said, But remember when the fortune teller told us that something in 2025 was going to happen between these two actors? Something that would actually make people go insane. And it happened, people. So let's just go back to the red carpet before everything went nuts. Weibo Night actually did something different when it came to the red carpet, which was a platform for the artists to stand on. Some artists did stand on the platform and some did avoid it. But this platform actually will spin the artists around so that way they can have a grand entrance. Some artists actually stood out to me just because of what they're wearing or because the presents that they gave off on the red carpet. Like Ding Wuxi, the samurai rocker Miyavi, which I love. I even did a report about him in high school. He was at this event too to get the Artist of the Year award. Last year was Jackson Wang. I actually was surprised. I actually thought that some of his music was gonna be banned to like kind of like some artists are in China. But I didn't know that he had a Weibo. Like, can you freaking believe Miyavi follows Xiaoshan after this event? Oh my god! Like, I'm so happy. All my fandoms start in Japanese culture or anime or Japanese dramas or the music, and now it just circles around to China. I can't deal. I didn't know that he spoke Mandarin, and his Mandarin's not that good, but he mixes Mandarin with English so they understand him. Oh, babe, when I say that when Miyavi came out, he's with two other women, and the revolving platform, him all the way at the end, he is so tall, but he looks so elegant, so suave, and I was just like, he looked awesome. I didn't see it coming, and it was so cool. Yan Zi, with her stunning outfit, she looked like a traditional empress when she came out. We're talking the hair was exactly the same how you would see in a traditional Chinese drama.
Right.
And with the whole outfit the same too. So the reveal when it came to Yan Zi's outfit was even better. It was something that was insane. I was going nuts for it. Dylan Wang and Tiang Xiwei. But for Dylan Wang, his partner that he came out with, she looked like a fairy. They all looked stunning on the red carpet. But to my surprise, I didn't actually know that Miyavi, he actually made two new friends known as Ding Wuxi and Shou Shen. Not to mention that Dylan Wang and Tiang Xiwei actually looked so cute holding hands from the moment they got off the revolving platform for Weibo Night all the way to the center of the red carpet. Adorable. Now, here comes our anticipating boys. But before that, we actually waited a really long time for Wang Yibo to come out, and we didn't know exactly when he comes out. So that's when I took it to Twitter and actually saw that Wang Yibo posted a little preview, not even showing his face, with him wearing a hat tilted in a way so that way his face is slightly covered and wearing all black. And he said on the picture, "See you soon." And just as we anticipated, Wang Yibo came out in the middle of the whole red carpet event on the spinning platform, mind you. Last year he actually missed the 3 booths of Weibo Night. This time he actually participated on the rolling platform. Me personally, I actually thought he was gonna walk around it saying, "I ain't doing that chance." But trust me when I say this, he made the right choice of turning on this platform because he looked absolutely stunning. His outfit was without the hat. His hair was slightly styled in a wavy kind of curly kind of way, and he was wearing a whole black outfit. Under that outfit he was actually wearing a button-up shirt with a light gray and dark gray tie pattern on it, but the whole outfit was black with some sequencing of silver with a cape on the back of his outfit. He absolutely looked stunning from head to toe. But the thing that was the most shocking is that when he raised his hand like this to wave to everybody, you actually see a slight green hue coming out from the bottom of the cape. So he's still wearing his signature colors, black and green. But the thing that also caught my attention is that Yibo's hands there was something wrong with them. First, he actually rose his right hand, and right here on his right hand, he actually has a really bad popped blister. And then he switched his hand to his left, and he actually has a blister right here that's really bad, some bruising on his hand, and on top of that, 2 more blisters down here. Now, it's usually said that Wang Yibo was rock climbing a few days ago up an icy slope. When it comes to rock climbing, sometimes it's always good to wear gloves, but sometimes you need some grip. So maybe he was wearing gloves and maybe not, but it definitely showed that he was actually rock climbing, or he was doing something that actually caused him to have blistered hands. So now that we have Wang Yibo on the red carpet and actually taking pictures, now it's the thing that all of us have been anticipating. Everybody has been hoping that Wang Yibo would actually sign somewhere that his shunga can also sign too, just like last year when their signatures were right next to each other. But unfortunately, Wang Yibo actually signed on the bottom right hand side of the whole Weibo screen, which was actually something that none of us saw coming. But I gotta say, everybody kept signing the right hand side. If you're looking at it like how I am, if you're looking at it like a screen like this, let me tell you, the way everybody entered when it came to the red carpet, everybody was signing closer to the entrance of the red carpet. So everybody was signing over here, when in reality they had this whole area to sign. They had this side, and then the middle had the Weibo logo, and then this side, okay? And they actually all signed mostly on this side and at the bottom of the middle where the Weibo sign is. But barely anybody signed this side. And the whole time I'm watching, I'm just like, sign over here! Sign this way! Sign further away, okay? Sign on the other side where there is actually no signatures. But for some reason, everybody kept signing on the left-hand side and also at the bottom of the Weibo sign where all the little advertisements are. So when Wang Yibo came out and he signed on the bottom right-hand side, I was like, he could always sign on the left. But I don't know why he signed on the bottom right-hand side, and everybody was making jokes saying that he was actually testing to see if his shunga would actually sign right next to the right hand side at the bottom. After Wang Yibo left the red carpet and signed where he signed, obviously all of us were like, well, we're not really anticipating a lot when it comes to Weibo night. Do we expect an interaction? No. But do we hope for one? Yes. But there unfortunately was not an interaction. It was actually a downer for me, knowing that Xiaoshan was not actually gonna sign there. It definitely put my hopes a little down, but you know, it's a really long night, so you never know what actually can happen during this night. The thing that I found strange, that I actually noted that no one has noticed ever, is that no one signed next to Wang Yibo's name. When Wang Yibo signed in the bottom right hand side, there were a lot of artists that actually signed the bottom of that whole poster. We're talking about different groups and different celebrities, different actors, they all signed. And like I said, they were all signing the left hand side only and the bottom of the logo, but no one was signing near Wang Yibo's signature. So then that gave me hope that maybe the events are actually saying don't sign next to Wang Yibo, and they're actually pointing out where he signed right before they go onto the red carpet. But that is just my theory. As time goes by, I'm just like, look, okay, it's taking forever for Xiaoshan to come out, and we're just like, if Xiaoshan comes out on that splitting platform, it's gonna look absolutely drop dead amazing. None of us knew actually when Xiaoshan was actually gonna come out until I took to Twitter and I saw that Xiaoshan actually dropped some photos of what he's gonna look like for tonight. Xiaoshan sitting on a chair, looking suave and sophisticated while looking at the camera, wearing red and black. Interesting. So that means that Xiaoshan is soon to be coming out on the red carpet, which actually got me so excited. Now here's the thing that happened during the live. Some fans were actually disappointed. Other people were actually happy that just Xiaoshan came out on the red carpet finally. The thing is, we're usually used to Xiaoshan coming out on the red carpet on his own. This time, Xiaoshan actually did not come out on his own on the red carpet. He actually came out with a group of different celebrities, including the co-star of Wang Yibo from Legend of Fae, Xiao Liying. Now, some of us fans were actually disappointed of the fact that Xiaoshan did not come out on the red carpet alone, and we were not able to enjoy the spinning platform that he would be on right there in the middle, just like we did for Wang Yibo. But you gotta understand that the people that he actually came out with was actually A-list celebrities that are actually very respected in the acting field. So instead of being disappointed, a lot of people actually found it an honor for Xiaoshan to actually come out with these celebrities. celebrities until a rumor starts going around saying Weibo Night's red carpet was actually taking a little too long. They decided to bunch Xiaoshan with the A-list celebrities to come out all at once instead of one by one or in pairs. In my opinion, I don't know if that's true, but it seems highly possible. Now, finally, the red carpet is over, and they actually leaked the photos of where Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo would actually be sitting in row 2 with only 4 people in between them. Last year, we actually had more people in between them, but this year, we actually only have 4 people in between Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo. But in Weibo tradition, we usually don't expect both of them to be at the arena at the same time. Sometimes it's rare when they're in the arena at the same time, sometimes it's not. So when they actually take their seats, we shall see if either Xiaoshan looks at his phone and then goes backstage, and then Wang Yibo comes out and stays in his seat for about 5 to 10 minutes, and it'll be like that for the rest of the night. This time, however, it was not. That's because of the numbers of where their seats are. Now, as you know, like I said, that their seats are actually apart by 4 people in between them. Now, we should have been happy that their seats are actually 4 seats apart, but one of them actually moves their seat down by 1 seat, and now they're 5 seats apart. This is the reason why Weibo Night was ruined for not only the fans, but for one of our boys, which actually caused probably the other one of our boys to be absolutely very upset and disappointed at the people that are running the event. Now, we all know that Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo are close to the middle and all the way towards the end when it comes to the red carpet is because they use them for clout. All of us actually understand this. They traffic a lot of people to watch. Same thing when it comes to giving us what we want, which is where their seats were, the same row, and their seats are closer. Now, all of us should be happy about this until it was released what the number of the seats were. Now, Xiaoshan, he was in row 2, seat 22. Wang Yibo got a pretty good view of his seat, so he should be happy. Wrong. The problem is with his seat number. It was row 2, seat 27. Weibo Night organizers actually planned for Wang Yibo to sit on a seat that represents the most horrible time of Xiaoshan's career that almost caused him to retire early, the 227 incident. If no one knows the 227 incident, this happened back in 2020. Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo were actually promoting their drama, The Untamed. And right when COVID also hit in China and there was lockdown. Now, let me tell you, when it came to the incident of 227, it's supposed to represent a date, which means February 27th. The incident takes place because of one of Xiaoshan's fans, aka Shrimps, actually found this fan fiction that involves Xiaoshan being a transvestite prostitute who is fighting with their sexuality, and a 16-year-old Wang Yibo falling in love and doing unspeakable things. Now, this fan fiction actually caused a big fight to happen between this Xiaoshan fan and this author. They asked the author if she can actually take down the fan fiction, and this fan fiction was actually on a website that we know, Archive of Our Own. Archive of Our Own is a very high popular platform that a lot of people can actually put different type of fan fictions of whatever they ship. A ship is when you pair 2 actors or 2 fictional characters together. That way they can be a couple and have intimacy in different ways. Now, this fan fiction was actually very graphic, and a lot of the fans thought that they did not do Xiaoshan right with writing him out to be a transvestite prostitute. They actually took it to the author, and they told the author either she takes it down or they were going to go to the higher powers. At first, you would think that they would just go report this fan fiction to the AO3 administrators, but they actually didn't. They actually went to Chinese government to demand that this author actually take down her account and delete all her fan fiction so that way no one has access to read this fan fiction. I think that was a little too far, to the point that before they even did that, the author locked all her fan fictions away so that way no one can read it, and locked her account so that way there's no harm done, because she understood. But unfortunately, the government decided to take it to themselves to take down not only AO3, but a lot of the platforms that involve fan fiction, because in China they actually frown upon the LGBT community. So that's what happened, and it actually caused a big mess when it came to the authors that actually found the platforms that they can express themselves, like AO3. And sometimes some of them were actually the LGBTQ community that was actually on there as well. There was actually some warning signs that some people were trying to harm themselves because the website got locked down. Fortunately, they were actually talking on forums and they were able to get the authorities to be able to save them before anything bad and harmful could happen to their bodies, including the author that also made the fan fiction that's behind the controversy. But the thing is, since the damage has been done, they all backtracked and they started to see what caused all of this to happen in China, to the point it also made it to the American news. Everybody started to hate on the fandom that caused these things and young people to harm themselves. And they're talking about Xiaoshan. Xiaoshan is the source of the reason why all of these things happened, because it was only Xiaoshan fans, not Wang Yibo fans, that reported this fan fiction. Everybody that thought this was a bad light on the fandom of Xiaoshan, because they thought that Xiaoshan is the one responsible, because why else would fans do this unless they were directed by the actor himself. But Xiaoshan actually did not know about this fanfiction. He was not involved in whatsoever, and he got a bunch of hate comments. He got death threats, and he got advertisements and roles taken away from him really, really fast, to the point that he was not able to get out of his own home. And even during the pandemic, while he was also trapped in his own home, he could not even go to his grandfather's funeral. But he did dedicate a post to him and drew out a picture of him and his grandfather holding hands with a red balloon. And there were rumors stating that this whole thing happened because of Wang Yibo. They're actually saying that Wang Yibo is the reason why 227 happened. And now we go back to the event. Wang Yibo refused to be in the seat of row 2, seat 27. It is not known if it was Yibo's staff or the Weibo staff of the night that rolled up the sticker that said row 2, seat 27. And they actually took a picture on confirmation. And why would they need to take a picture of confirmation unless they're trying to show someone and send it to them that the deed has been done? We're not sure if it's his own staff or the Weibo Night staff to actually switch his seat. So he decided to take it upon himself and actually ask another person that was sitting in row 2, seat 28, to change with him. And the actor's name is Li Xian, and he actually said yes, he finds it no problem to be able to change seats with Wang Yibo. So that's what happened. Wang Yibo actually changed his seat to row 2, seat 28, which makes it 5 people in between Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo. But the thing is, that doesn't end there, people, because before the artists actually enter where they're supposed to sit, they actually take off the sticker where Wang Yibo was actually seated, and it's not known why, but they decided to do that for all the seats in the arena of the celebrities, or just row 2. It's not known, but that's exactly what happened. And there's actually rumors stating that Wang Yibo himself actually ripped off his own name sticker off of the seat that was still on the 27th seat. And it's still not known why. It's like he actually made himself not be at this award show, because he not only did he ask to change seats, and not only did he ask to roll up that number, he was furious. It's actually known for a fact that Wang Yibo was actually very, very angry and upset of the fact that Weibo Night actually put him in that seat in the first place. And even though he changed his seat, he was actually done with being at Weibo Night, and he decided not to sit in the arena for the whole event. So we actually did not see Wang Yibo only until he actually gets called up to the stage to receive his award. But the things that were happening behind the scenes is actually very, very interesting, because Wang Yibo, yes, he was very, very angry, to the point that at this event they actually provide food and drink to the artists that are actually staying at this event, since they're going to be there for about 12 hours. So there's a bunch of food there, but is actually seen that his security brings him a big bag of McDonald's. When you order McDonald's for yourself, the bag is actually much smaller, but this time he actually had a real big brown bag. And at first I thought maybe he got food for his staff and himself, but you would have multiple bags of McDonald's for that. So if he only has one bag, it seems very suspicious. Talk about saying F you to the event of Weibo night, just like all of us are after everything that we've experienced, because how can they do that? But because he did this and he changed his seat to seat 28 and not participate in seat 27, a lot of people got to see a new side of him, which means that he actually cares a lot for Xiaoshan.
And let's not forget the little fact that Wang Yibo sold his favorite bike for Xiaoshan for the money of a lawsuit. Ah!
He knows how much this date hurt Xiaoshan's reputation and also hurt his own. For over 2 hours, we actually did not know if Yibo actually left the venue or he did a second outfit change. And then there was another thing that came to mind too. Xiaoshan actually went backstage at some point after he looked at his phone while he was in the arena and went backstage. Afterwards, he was not seen for more than 2 hours. And then in those 2 hours, he did a lot of interviews, participated in different little games that they have back there, like ring toss, and also started associating with some of his former colleagues. Like there was one colleague that was also there to receive an award, which we all know and love from the Untamed. We're talking about Zoe Meng, known as playing her role in the Untamed, Wen King. When he went to take his seat, he actually said hi to Yan Zi and Li Xian, which means he was actually talking and participating more than usual with different celebrities. And it's actually nice to see the fact that he was actually very happy until I guess he noticed, and other celebrities as well, what the drama was going on at the event and why they had to change one person's seat from 27 to 28. But if anybody in the celebrity world actually knows about what happened between Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo and what happened that year of 2020 to Xiaoshan, then you obviously are going to know why exactly all of this went out and how it played. Now, after Xiaoshan went backstage and he went into a certain hall, a minute later, so did Wang Yibo. And it's also rumored that Xiaoshan actually ate McDonald's with Wang Yibo, and they actually talked for a long while. Now, this is only alleged rumor because there's actually a staff member that was on a forum that told us this. And we're not sure if this is true or not, but obviously as us Yishans, we always assume that they're both back there eating hot pot. But this time they were eating McDonald's. Now, as a Yishan, this makes me very, very happy. It's like saying a big F you, both of them, to Weibo night. And it's also assumed that Xiaoshan is the one that cheered up Wang Yibo, because the next thing we know, Wang Yibo releases pictures of himself in his second outfit, and he's wearing a brown coat, a white button-up with grayish blue pants, and a grayish blue v-neck sweater with brown shoes. Now, a lot of people are assuming that this outfit is actually a tip of the hat to Xiaoshan's look whenever he's sponsoring Todd's. It could be, but that's what a lot of people are assuming. So the fear that Wang Yibo left the event without getting his award, and even though he did his second outfit change, he still didn't show up to the arena until it was his time to get his award. And as usual in Wang Yibo and Xiaoshan fashion, Wang Yibo actually did not want to be in the middle when he went up on stage to get his award. He actually wanted his other colleague to be in the middle instead. But they actually insisted on Wang Yibo to be in the middle, and even though he was in the middle, he actually still tried to be on the left and right hand side, because he already knows that Weibo night usually prefers that Wang Yibo and Xiaoshan to be in the middle whenever they receive an award. But Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo actually respect their colleagues enough to know that all the attention would be taken away from their colleagues, which is why they usually like to hang back and give the spotlight to the colleague that's speaking on the mic. When Wang Yibo was on stage, he actually did something very, very funny, which was that he only gave a 4-second speech. And his award speech was, "Thank you, Weibo night, and I hope everyone gets peace and happiness."
感谢微博2025，祝大家平安快乐，谢谢。
Which is actually a phrase that Xiaoshan says a lot, which seems to be a kick in the face for Weibo night again. That's all we get from him. And then after he gets his award, he goes backstage, I guess to wait for the event to end, because we actually didn't know if he actually left. Again, Xiaoshan actually did not come out until Yibo actually got his award, and with a second outfit change. This time, Xiaoshan is actually wearing all black, but with a little silver right here on his neck. And he's looking absolutely fantastic against this reddish orange curtain. I actually assumed, and some people did too, it's kind of a coincidence that both Xiaoshan and Wang Yi both wore black that night, and a coincidence close to their neckline, they're actually wearing a gray or silver right here. For me personally, Wang Yibo's second outfit actually kind of reminded me of a modern day Lan Shan, because it seems like something that Lan Shan from The Untamed, if he were in modern day, would actually wear. But I don't know. What do you guys think? So while Xiaoshan is actually backstage getting ready to be able to come out on stage so that way he can promote for his upcoming movie, winning the most anticipated movie award, this is where a lot of people got upset again, because they actually were putting out the trailers for each and every movie. There was 5 movies that won the most anticipated award. Unfortunately, when they were promoting the movie, they actually only called up his female co-star, who is the second main lead. And when she asked Xiaoshan when he went on stage with the director and the rest of the cast, she asked him, why didn't you show up? And he said that he was not called, and for some reason he didn't know why. And that seems like Weibo Night trying to attack Xiaoshan from even promoting his own movie, even though that he is the main character of said movie. And it seems like a very dick move. Once every single one of the movies go and promote their own movies that are coming out this year. Last but certainly not least, it's Xiaoshan's movie with the director, I think the co-director, and the rest of the cast, which also includes Xiaoshan right behind the director. So the director was actually going to give a speech, but unfortunately the crowd was so loud cheering for Xiaoshan that the director wanted Xiaoshan to speak. But Xiaoshan actually done something else that really did impress me, and it did impress my husband when I showed him. He actually did a timeout sign like this, and he also shushed them. He actually did timeout, shush. And guess what? The whole crowd went quiet.
说好吗？
振人肺腑的想
说好吗？
振人肺腑。
And the director said his speech. Last but certainly not least, Xiaoshan also promoted his movie. And he actually asked that everybody come see his movie when it drops in the cinema, and that he hopes that he can get the support of his fans.
我是演员肖战，在《射雕英雄传：侠之大者》中扮演郭靖。那大年初一一起来电影院一统江湖，谢谢。
And it's actually something new, because Xiaoshan doesn't ask for support from his fans when it comes to promoting himself or promoting a work that he's done. But this time he actually asked the fans, which actually was a very big deal. And it shows that Xiaoshan has grown, but he still was very nervous to say what he said. And then he actually goes down to his seat to wait to receive his own award, the most influenced actor of the year, while Wang Yibo won Best Movie Actor Award of the year. Now, this is when it gets a little funny and lighthearted, because I didn't mention when Wang Yibo was on stage getting his award, he was actually all smiling and everything, which means if it's true that whatever happened between him and Xiaoshan behind the scenes actually cheered him up, then we got our boy to be able to be happy enough to actually be able to show us a smile when he was on stage. When Xiaoshan went on stage, like I said, Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo are usually forced to be in the middle. Just like last year when Xiaoshan was trying to run away from being in the middle, this time around, he actually thought things through. After he received the award from the shelf, he actually decided to run from being at the end of the line all the way to the front and avoid being in the center. It was actually very silly for him to do that, and it was so cute.
傅一谋导演在舞台中心相会。
有请张导为4位送上鲜花。
That was basically the highlight of the night. After he got his award, Xiaoshan went backstage and waited until the event was over, and both Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo left. I'm not saying together, although we're all hoping that they left together. And that is all when it comes to Weibo Night, right? Wrong. Wang Yibo actually posted on Weibo all the pictures of Weibo Night in a big compilation. And the thing is, the timestamp that he put it for is 22:08. The numbers of his seat and row that he was supposed to be sitting in when it came to Weibo Night. And the post that he put is said peace and happiness. To know that peace and happiness when it comes to our Yishin fandom is actually a big deal, because there's a Yishin rumor house that puts out rumored conversations of Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo, and it's said that Xiaoshan usually is the one that says peace and happiness. And for Yibo to actually say peace and happiness, a lot of people are assuming that Yibo has been looking at this forum, and that's why he is the captain of this ship. at the end of the day, he actually did something very honorable, something that proves what their theories were, that Wang Yibo cares so much about Shanga and that he did support him when it came to 227. And it actually made me very happy because it also confirmed the fact that Wang Yibo was not the person that caused 227 to happen. A lot of solo fans of Wang Yibo and Xiaoshan actually converted to Yixins and signed up to their super topic on Weibo. To estimate how many, about 12,000 decided to sign up to be a Yixin because of the actions of Wang Yibo. I gotta say that Yibo has done something that all of us cannot believe, and all of us believe that this is love. Unfortunately, some people are trying to say that the person that rolled up the row number and seat number sticker that was on Wang Yibo's was actually a Yixin, not a staff member. A lot of Motos, aka Wang Yibo fans, have actually been trying to say that Wang Yibo was being manipulated by the Yixin fandom. Lots of Xiaoshan fans and lots of anti-fans were actually saying that Yibo was being very petty and he was actually not doing it for Xiaoshan. He was actually doing it just because. But a lot of people want to be in denial, of course. But as a Yixin myself, I know what's the truth. And the truth is that Yibo didn't show up and Yibo changed his seat. The seat number, it did matter to him because otherwise why would he change his seat? And if he was okay with the event doing that, he would have sat in his seat. Now, wouldn't he? His new seat, seat 28. But why would he stay backstage? This is the most incredible thing to happen, to the point I will read off what some of the solo fans of Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo have actually said of Wang Yibo's actions. I'm a Xiaoshan solo fan. I'm touched by today's DD and also became a CPF. If you don't know what a CPF fan is actually a couple fan, or a couple shipping fan, or a shipper. And now it's been stated for a few years that Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo are either really close friends, like soulmate friends, or they have a bromance together, to being romantically involved, because they have been denying all the rumors when it comes to them dating another co-star or another female person. But they've never denied the fact that they have been dating each other, which kind of surprises a lot of people. I'm also a Xiaoshan solo fan turned CPF. I even quietly signed in at the super topic. Tearing off this number really makes one cry. I'm also a solo fan who has liked Wang Yibo for 8 years. Last night really made me not know what to do. I kind of ship it. I'm Bobo's solo fan. If no one knows, Bobo equals Wang Yibo, and that's actually one of Wang Yibo's nicknames, Bobo. I'm Bobo's solo fan. Last night, I searched for him the entire night till I cried. I'm also about to become a CPF. I'm also a Wang Yibo solo fan for almost 6 years. Last night broke me straight away, and I became a CPF. I'm a Moto for 5 years. Last night made me so angry. ... Now, I just want to wish Xiaoshan's movie to be a box office hit. Must support. And that's only a few of the things that actually happened that night. And there's actually one long comment that caught my eye of a Yibo solo fan. They actually made a lot of good points. I'm sorry, but maybe it was the Weibo night staff who were asked to tear the seat number because they were already there, present on the inside of Weibo night stage. If you think about it logically, why would someone tear it up and then take a picture of it? Why would they do that unless they needed to send it to someone as confirmation? As all of us know, 227 is not just a random number. Even the number was forbidden in the Weibo app. As a Yibo solo fan, I think the 227 incident really affected Yibo too in so many ways. I don't know much about it, but if you truly care about Yibo himself, I think you should consider that 227 is not just a random number. He probably asked it to be removed for a reason. I've truly never seen him do this before on the Weibo night stage in previous years. He would sit there before and after receiving his award. But this year, he didn't even bother to sit. From now on, let's think logically. As a Yibo fan, I sometimes feel that some of the BJYX, aka Boju Yi Shao, or Yishin fans, rumors actually make sense, and I don't really mind, as long as they don't harm Yibo or Xiaoshan's reputation, especially like the 227 incident. I'm totally fine with it. Also, I only believe it's a false rumor if Yibo official on Weibo denies it. So it just comes to show you that a lot of things that happened that night definitely don't add up, don't make sense unless you actually follow our Yishin logic. Now time to read some of the things that Yishin fans have commented on this. Number 1, my take on Weibo Night 2025. Xiaoshan at least sat in his seat, but Wang Yibo just came to receive his award and left the venue. He didn't even sit in his seat even once. It's definitely because of his seat number. He even changed his seat with another actor, but he was still not satisfied at all. And I respect his decision from the bottom of my heart. Well, Yibo has always sat in his seat in every event, but the first time he didn't. He knows how unlucky that number is for Gaga. Out of all the people in the world, he is the only one who could never let his Xiaoshan feel wrong, even a little. I don't think it was unintentional, because what are the chances that out of all the celebrities, he was the one who got that seat number? They even posted the seat number on Weibo previously. The event organizers must have never dared to do it. They were aware of the consequences, but they still dared, and for what? For the more traffic? I'm so disappointed and angry with the arrangements. But despite all the disappointments, Yibo making his stand loud and clear once again is the only best thing that happened this whole Weibo night. Wang Yibo is the only one in this whole world who can love Xiaoshan to this extent. I mean, his love for his Shanga is limitless. We once again witnessed the underwindling love of Wang Yibo for his Shanga. We couldn't even get to see them in the venue at the same time. But I'm not disappointed, because I was not very hopeful in the first place. None of us were very hopeful in the first place, okay? None of us. Not even me, okay? Not even me if they were going to sign next to each other, okay? That's how unhopeful I was, okay? I was just hoping that we got some evidence that these two are still in contact with each other. I was even hoping to get some candies. And if you don't know, CP candies are actually evidence that are given to us by the artist that they are probably together or they're probably not. That's what Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo always do to us. So back to the post. We could have at least seen them in the venue at the same time for a few minutes, but this little wish of ours was also robbed from us because of the organizers' shady arrangements. I will say again and again that Yibo's love for his Xiaoshan is unfathomable, and the same goes for my Xiaoshan. His love for Wang Yibo is unconditional. No one can love and care for Wang Yibo the way Xiaoshan does. Their unshakable faith in each other and the unconditional love for each other has been their strength for breaking every unbreakable barrier in their way of love. They have on the top of their hearts and the first and utmost priority with their families. From what I've seen for all these years, they can leave everything for each other. Whenever I think that they have each other to love and take care, my heart feels a kind of contentment, and I can't even describe in words. Wishing them a lifetime of togetherness, happiness, and peacefulness always. That's where this post ends, but they actually did a continuation of after seeing what has been going on Instagram, because on Instagram there's actually some motos and some shrimps that are the very toxic ones that have been trying to explain this off. It just comes to show you that this night was very important and a very big deal. I'm not disappointed with it at all. I was disappointed at first when we didn't get Yibo to show up, but at the same time, can we blame him? No. And I hope Xiaoshan realizes that he actually has a very good man next to him. My personal belief is that I feel like they really are together. But if they actually come out saying that they're best friends and that they're the type of soulmates that are only friends, then I'm also happy with that too. Because I would hate the fact that all that time on the Untamed, them bonding, how Xiaoshan broke out of his shell whenever he was on the set, whenever there was Wang Yibo there or anybody mentioned Wang Yibo, and he would just have a smile on his face. It would be such a shame to see that friendship die. And if they're friends, well, I gotta say, this Yishin fan will actually be very, very happy. And that's my take on the whole Weibo night. What are your thoughts? Please tell me in the description below if you have your own opinion. Of course, as I am a Yishin, I'm still hopeful that Xiaoshan and Wang Yibo are together as a couple or are best friends. Please subscribe and comment down below. If you actually like more of these, I can definitely come more with this gossip type of thing. So, remember, being weird is better than being normal. And I will see you guys in the next time. And remember, Yishin is real. 加奶 and 再见.